Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving straight into the architecture of market integrity. We're going to look at exactly how trading venues act as our frontline defense. Think of them as a meticulously designed regulatory fortress, built specifically to catch market manipulation and financial crime in the act.
Because, as we all know, financial crime thrives in the dark. When buyers and sellers communicate purely through informal, opaque, bilateral channels, it's honestly like wandering through a dark forest. Bad behavior, things like fraud and insider dealing, can easily hide from regulators when the lights are off.
So, how do authorities actually turn on those lights? I mean, paper rules just aren't enough on their own. Regulators need a physical, operational trap to catch these abusive activities. And that is exactly where the trading venue comes in.
Here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the arena of trade, move into defining the venue, then drawing the regulatory perimeter, catching market abuse, and we'll wrap it all up with the wider control ecosystem.
Okay, part 1. The arena of trade. Lighting up the dark. Rather than relying on shady, informal back channels, a proper trading venue establishes an organized setting that forces all that trading activity right out of the shadows. It basically does 4 absolutely critical things. It brings together trading interest, operates under clearly defined rules, maintains really strict governance, and employs active surveillance arrangements. This structure radically improves transparency and everyday supervision.
Moving right along to Section 2, defining the trading venue, the blueprint. If we look at ESMA's MiFID II rulebook, a trading venue isn't just some vague, abstract concept. It is a highly specific, legally defined market structure where financial instruments are bought and sold. It's the actual framework where execution happens and, crucially, where suspicious behavior gets flagged. It's basically the beating heart of how European markets are categorized and supervised today.
And if we look specifically at the UK's FCA framework, we essentially have 3 distinct rooms inside this regulatory fortress: regulated markets, or RMs, multilateral trading facilities, or MTFs, and organized trading facilities, OTFs. They are different structural setups, sure, but they share the exact same mandate: active market integrity and rock-solid conduct controls.
That brings us to Section 3, drawing the regulatory perimeter, setting the boundaries.
Now, this is absolutely crucial. Not every system actually makes the cut. The FCA explicitly draws a hard perimeter here. On one hand, a multilateral system requires authorization because there is active interaction between trading interests. But a simple bulletin board, because there's no actual interaction between interests there, it sits entirely outside the fortress. This distinction is massive. Crossing that perimeter brings heavy regulatory obligations around market conduct, transparency, and operational controls. If that perimeter gets blurry, misconduct becomes incredibly difficult to supervise.
Let's step into Section 4, catching market abuse, the surveillance room.
Think of this as your classic rap sheet of manipulative behaviors: spoofing, layering, marking the close, and other suspicious orders and transactions. Because a venue operates with totally visible order books, these manipulations hit the venue's surveillance tripwires almost immediately. This is exactly why venues are literal ground zero for market abuse detection.
And finally, Section 5, the wider control ecosystem, the connected map. The important thing to remember here is that this fortress doesn't operate in a vacuum. The trading venue concept actively anchors a huge set of wider regulatory rules. Take TOTV, for example, traded on a trading venue. This dictates exactly how transparency and conduct rules apply to an instrument. Then you've got store reporting, which relies heavily on the venue itself to flag suspicious order and transaction activity. And of course, the broader MAR and MiFID II frameworks to supervise market conduct and orderly trading. The venue is literally the engine powering all of these rules.
So, a truly mature financial crime framework treats the venue as way more than just a space to execute trades. It is a core part of the control environment for orderly markets, fair access, transparent trading, and the detection of abusive conduct. Strong governance keeps the lights on, right? Without it, we fall right back into the dark.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. We all know financial crime is constantly adapting. So as trading technology gets faster and more complex, will our venues, these fortresses of market integrity, be strong enough to catch the next generation of financial crime? One thing's for sure, the walls of this fortress are going to need to continually adapt. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep questioning the architecture around you.